Over 200 experts have shared their secrets to a successful business. Join me, Rose Davidson, as I discover how these experts took their businesses to the next level.
Talking with the experts.
Welcome to Talking with the Experts. Talking about all things business by business owners for business owners. Welcome to episode 243 with Toms Blodnieks.
And I think there I should come up with the story how it all started for Desk Time itself, because 10 years ago, when there was an idea for giving employees more flexibility, more freedom to manage their own time, and shouldn't work 9 to 5. So business owners in our business decided that we need some kind of time tracking tool or something that will actually show for employees themselves what time they arrive, so they know how much time they need to work, and then to prepare easier the reports, what they have done during those hours, because business owners, managers didn't want to micromanage. They didn't want to follow everyone and see in detail each employee's statistics or something like that. So they wanted to give it for employees the freedom.
Talking with the experts.
Hello and welcome to Talking with the Experts. Talking with the Experts is about all things business by business owners for business owners. My name's Rose Davidson. I'm your host for today, and my guest is Toms Blodnieks. And Toms is from Latvia, and his business and company name is called Desk Time. Now, before I put Tom on, I must say that we had a discussion earlier this year about Desk Time. I have downloaded the product myself. I have used it. I think it's absolutely great. It's better than some of the time tracking software out there. So yeah, I encourage you to have a look at it when the link goes up in the show notes. And welcome, Toms, and thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, hello, Rose. Thank you for this nice introduction today. Nice to be here. I'm glad and happy. Yeah, I'm glad and happy that you have tried our product. That's really helps.
It does. Yeah. So you are a time management expert and the Chief Operating Officer of Desk Time. It's a time and productivity tracking app. And you've spent the last 5 years in time tracking business, helping business owners and their teams from all over the world become more productive. Now, I can say that this software will actually do that. It's it tracks time for money, and for those businesses who need to do that, like VAs and people like that, it's an absolutely awesome tool. But if before someone gets to the Desk Time app, what processes could they be putting in place to better manage their time?
Yeah, it's actually really tracks time for money, but it's we don't need to forget this is a crucial way to understand and then start understanding where our time goes. So even if you don't track time for money and you don't charge per hour or stuff like that, it's for many people it's very, very interesting to see where their time goes, how they split their day, how they spend their time during the day. And that's the one of the time management options that we offer, and many people use that.
I haven't used that part of it yet. I'm still playing with it.
yeah, but you should really try it for several weeks. From early morning you start the day and until you end, and then you will see all the details. Actually, when you and if you mark when you go pick up your kids or something like that, then it's really great to see that overview in the end.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I hadn't thought of it in using it in quite that way. But as I told you before we came on, that it's been running since I installed it, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago. And it's probably telling me things that I don't even know.
Oh, you have huge reports now that you discovered during the Christmas time.
Yes, most probably. Now, I guess when you can, a business owner can master time management, they can help with their business growth. I mean, that's got to be a fact that if they're managing their time, then they're managing their business. Or is it not quite that way?
It's perfect. It's excellent quote, because everything starts from time management. Actually, wherever and whichever is your business, it's crucial to understand where the time goes for those who do the job. And if you need actually really something to do and to finish, you need to understand how much time it will take, how much time it actually takes, and if you do everything as you planned. So there is a time management, there is a time tracking, there is a project management included. And Desk Time is the tool that gives overview of everything of that, and you can see all those details then. And it's really crucial for the productivity for every business, that everyone knows if there is any waste of time, or there is no waste of time, or people are overworking hours. So they need to do the steps, whichever the results show.
Couldn't it be, though, for business owners who micromanage their teams, couldn't it be a little bit invasive to the employee?
Yes, we agree with that, and I think there I should come up with the story how it all started for Desk Time itself, because 10 years ago, when there was an idea for giving employees more flexibility, more freedom to manage their own time, and shouldn't work 9 to 5. So business owners in our business decided that we need some kind of time tracking tool, or something that will actually show for employees themselves what time they arrive, so they know how much time they need to work, and then to prepare easier the reports, what they have done during those hours. Because business owners, managers didn't want to micromanage, they didn't want to follow everyone and see in detail each employee's statistics or something like that. So they wanted to give it for employees the freedom, and that's the aim of Desk Time, that we give the freedom. We want that employers trust employees, don't micromanage, but employees themselves can follow up the hours they work, what they do, how much they work, and then it all goes for employees. And of course, if there is a need or something, it's a good tool or way that employers can check the statistics and get the summaries. They don't need to go to Euros and ask, how much did you work yesterday, 1 week ago, and then stuff like that. They can do that themselves. They save time by creating and asking for reports or something like that. But a micromanagement would be that we go deeper each day and follow strictly about what employees do. And yes, from one side it can be done, but from other side we can disable all the features that could do that, and give as much as we can the freedom for employees. At the same time, we still do time tracking. We show the productivity statistics, and give the flexibility that we can work in the morning, daytime, evening, and then in overall we get the hours or job done that was needed, and there is a proof of work then in the end.
It's a good little tool. It's like, instead of keeping a manual timesheet, I guess, it's all electronically monitored. So everyone's got access to it, or who's ever needs to have access to it. So is there anything that you wanted to share visually with us and how it works, or are you happy just to explain it? Or
well, I can show just a quick things. I can share the screen.
That would be really good. Thank you.
Yeah, how it works. So you should see my desktop page now.
Yeah, looks really great.
Yeah, so this is, for example, yesterday, so the 21st of December, and this is the overall statistics that in the full package we could see that we see that what time I start working, what time I left, so what's been the productive hours during those times, and what's total time at the computer I've been working. Here is the total time at work. So it includes all the breaks and being away from the computer. Then there is a possibility to compare yourself with your teammates and see how you stack up, if that's interesting. And then there is effectiveness and productivity percentage, which is under the formula we are working. And this is the basic information that everyone can get and see together with this productivity bar with applications, websites, programs, time spent on productive, unproductive, or neutral applications. So we can get a really quick overview of what we have to work and how much time we have to work. And then there is project times as well. We can see which projects, how long take, and get the overviews later in the reports. And we can manage shifts. If there is employees that work on shifts and they have strict hours, then we can add shifts as well and see that shift hours. Yeah, and a lot of details, of course. We can get as well the used applications, the used websites, programs, and we can divide that in the productivity level. Actually, this is one of the things that we are different from all the competitors have in the market, that we actually try to see the productivity and give the option to divide the applications programs in productivity levels. Yeah, and well, that's basically an overview where you see the basic statistics. So you see that we have here in the menu a lot of features with work schedules, absence calendar to manage leaves and shifts. We can manage projects as well. We can add projects. We can track time on the projects. To see details of that, and then they all get in the reports then in the end.
Project management tool in there, the project tracking, that would be really great for quoting for similar type work. That if you were to quote for work for another business, I think you could take an average of what it takes to do that particular job and then quote accordingly. Because I do know that you can overquote or underquote because you really don't know how long it's going to take you. But if you've got a number of projects that you can get your hands on and work out the hours and the resources that have to go into it, I think it's a great tool to be able to manage future projects based on the past performance.
Excellent. You're just taking my words, because that's how we explain that, and it's really. I know that many businesses don't do that, don't do project management. They don't use the project tools, and they just they have tasks written somewhere and they just go one by one. But it's very crucial for time management to have some kind of to-do list to time the project management tool that you have. At least it's called a Kanban board. So you have the to-do list, you have doing list, you have the list that is in progress or done and then or tested or something like that. But at least the minor things, and Deskpam helps with that. Yes, we track time on these, and if you have estimated time for some kind of task or project, then you can actually with Deskpam see how much time it spent and compare that and yes, analyze and see. And as you said, from the past projects, we estimate the future projects, and we know that those time losses or some kind of ASAP works that takes time and something like that, and everything you can track. It's automatically. You don't need to write down on a paper and it's get lost somewhere. It's pretty easy and cool that everything saves
Yes. And what about invoicing? So like one of the time management tool that I have used before, you actually put in what you charge per hour, and then it works out an invoice based on the number of hours that you've worked on that particular project. So does your software do the same thing?
Yes, we have, so we can add the hourly rate. We can add the hourly rate for the projects or yourself as a person. So it depends if you track projects or not. And then, yes, you can add and go to our product function for the invoicing, create an invoice. You choose which period or which project you want to include in the invoice. And it's automatically generated a nice looking invoice that you can send to your clients. And we don't have a payroll yet that you can actually pay for employee wage or something like that. We'll work on that next year. That's in our future plans. But invoice, yes, we can generate and send it and get the time out from desk time.
And how cost effective is desk time compared to other time tracking software?
It's, of course, we're looking at those prices and try to be in the same price range, but I would say we are a little bit cheaper than others, and yeah, we just want to be more affordable for businesses. We often offer discounts for freelancers or larger businesses. We have bulk discounts, so they can manage the time tracking. They don't have to spend a lot of money on tools. As per user, it's cheap, but when you have 1,000 users, then it's not so cheap in total amount anymore. So we try to offer the best prices.
Good. So, and do you have like a basic, a standard, and a premium package, or one set rate for everybody, or?
Exactly. Yeah, we have the basic, like the pro package it called for us. So where is the basic needs covered, but if you need additional and more deeper and additional features like work schedules, absence calendars, and the same invoicing, then you can get that in premium plan. And if you're an enterprise and you want to do some kind of custom things or change something in the interface or something, then we have the enterprise plan as well.
Very good. I might have to look at that for next year. I think look into it more and use it more efficiently. Rather than just leave it running in the background. It'd be interesting to see what my stats are, really. I'm not going to go there today because they'll be just like huge.
But that's part of your job. So that's everyone needs to understand what's good for them and what's not. And you shouldn't be afraid of Facebook or YouTube or something like that, because it's part of the job. It's also, we have developers that are working, and it's okay that they are looking some kind of videos in the YouTube that learning how to do things and stuff like that. And it's most important how we at Desktime work is that we really track time on the projects. We trust our employees. We don't micromanage. We don't follow each URL, each program, each second they have worked on something. We just take the total hours of the project. And I would say there is no point to micromanage, because you lose from that, will not feel safe. You will lose from that because employee will not give the 100% job out. And then in the end, your employee will work the same way after 1 month or 2 months anyway. So just take the project hours as it is, adjust your hourly rate or rate you charge per package, and just take those hours as they are in time tracking. And it's not just a clear time for a project. There is many side things that comes up, and you need to know about those.
Yeah,
you need to see those. And
a good business owner, which I'm not a very good business owner. I'm better at podcasting than running a business, but maybe we won't go there either. But so it is something that they should be aware of and really keep track of, even for their own if they're just a solopreneur working on their own, they should be managing their time. They should know where their time's being wasted, whether it's, too many coffees, or you're on the phone too much, or you're spending too much time scrolling through Facebook or Twitter or whatever it is that you do during your work times when it's not part of your work. So yes, it is a good thing to be more aware of, I think. So Toms, if people wanted to test drive desk time, where could they find it?
Oh, you can try to Google your favorite words like time tracking, time management software, or something like that, and you will find us. Or you can just go to desktime.com and start a free trial and test it for 2 weeks. And if it's not enough, just let our support know, and they will extend your free trial, and you can test it more, and then decide if this is a tool for you, and if you like it, if you see the bonuses and profit from that. We really trust that there is a profit from the time tracking tools, and it's only the way how you use it, how you communicate with your team about that. But there is definitely positive notes, more positive things than negative of time tracking. It's just a matter of communication and what features and how do you use it, because the options to how to use time tracking tools, whichever is a desk time or any other, it's really a lot of options how to use it. And we have,
as we said before, it is something that business owners really should be more mindful of, is tracking their time. And as you said also, you don't need to track time for money. You can track it as a project, or if you're just offering a package, you can still work out how many hours you've worked on that particular project. So to me, I think it's a step in the right direction, especially when you allow your own employees not to be micromanaged, because I think that's also a great step in the right direction, because being micromanaged I think has got to be one of the worst things in the world. It's really horrible. It's bad for morale. It's bad for your mental health too, I think.
Yeah. And that's what we see from the pandemic, from the 2020 when the COVID started, that many started to use it just for attendance. They don't need any details. They don't see anything. They just want to see when people are online, when they can communicate, not to disturb after outside the working hours. So in Deskcam also you can see when people are online, when they are working, and if they are not working, then you know that they are not here. Then you can wait or just leave a note or something and it just helps for employees just to see that proof of work, because we are at home. And the remote and hybrid work will stay for us. I would say forever, but who knows? But it's just a good proof of work for myself, that I can see that I worked. I know that I done that. I know that I'm clear, and I can close my computer at 4 p.m. and that's it. That I'm gone because I started to work earlier today. And next day I start later, then I know that I need to wait and work a little bit more, and everyone knows that. And then it's
it's just a trade-off, really, isn't it? You start early, you finish early. It's it's pretty much common sense, really. But I think the hybrid workplace is going to be here. This is going to be a new normal. I don't think we'll ever go back to how things were before 2020. I think that's long gone now. And I do believe that business owners and employees like it in a hybrid way. I think it gives them more flexibility, rather than having to get dressed and go to an office every single day. At least they can just go to work and stay in their pajamas. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We have followed all these articles and all these measurements that are taken and surveys that there is no doubt that the employee who can work from home like to work from home, sometimes go to office to meet their colleagues in face, but it's much easier. You don't have to go through the traffic to the office, and then you can start working earlier and you can finish earlier, and it's a great way. And then there is this proof of work that no employees are jealous or don't trust each other, because everyone can see that. And that's how we do at Desk Time. Once a week, we come together with teams and share each other's summaries, so they know that, yes, you worked the hours needed, I worked, and so good. So we are all safe, and no one is, I don't know, cheating or something that sometimes employees think of each other like that. I'm working more than he's, and then I'm getting paid the same amount. Actually, there is this that we see. We all work the same amount and even more, and that's what we are going now. What we have seen from the statistics from those who work from home is that many overwork. And that's the same problem for me, that at home, I don't eat proper lunch. I don't go away to talk with colleagues. So I'm just all the time at the computer. So I work much more than I needed, and it's not healthy. So time management, time tracking software shows that options as well. And you can indicate that for yourself or your employer. Your lead can indicate that and talk to you about that. And there are a lot of data to talk about when you just see in one-on-one meetings or stuff like that, because over time and like wealthy and healthy work is very important for us. So Deskcam has also those Pomodoro timer, for example, break reminders that just says you to go away from the computer, scratch, and come back later and stuff like that. And yeah, we have a lot of blogs about different topics, and about from employee view of how to work healthier, better, and more efficient, and also from employer view what to take a look when, and how not to micromanage, but how to keep eye on data and how to use data and stuff like that. So a lot of things to find in desk.com/blog.
Very interesting indeed. Toms, if you had to give some advice to a business owner, what would it be?
Well, the first would be definitely to start time tracking, not to micromanage, use the data you see. But usually I have to talk with businesses for more startups. They ask more for questions, how to use time tracking, how to better work to do the job, how I start my first business, how I pay my developers and team and stuff like that. And it all goes together with time tracking. And I say that it's much better that you do the job and don't go for a perfect job. And then that's my advice for everyone. Just do the job, finish it, and don't wait for the perfect finish or outcome. You can always add something later, but it's important to finish and to see how much time you spent on that, how much time it took, and to see everything in desk time. It's possible.
You're the third person that said that to me this week. Doesn't have to be perfect. Good is good.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. All right, Toms. Well, thank you so much for coming on and discussing with me about desk time. I think it's a very worthwhile tool that business owners should be looking at in the future. And yeah, I look forward to spending a bit more time on it and being a bit more productive with my time.
Yeah, thank you, Rose.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me on Talking with the Experts. Make sure you subscribe through your favourite podcast app or on YouTube, and check out my Patreon page for more value for you, or you can buy me a coffee. My name's Rose Davidson from rosedavidson.com. I look forward to your company next time when I'm talking with the experts.